Hi teachers, I'm Jonette Mungo, your 4-H agent for Virginia Beach. So I just wanted to send you all a quick video telling you all welcome to the Embryology Project. I have a few things that I would like to share with you prior to you getting started. So first off, you found the website, wonderful. I will be adding resources to this website to help you along throughout your embryology project. Your egg pickup is on next Tuesday, March 8th. Please arrive between 8:30 at the beginning of your day or whenever your planning period is, but the earlier you get them, the better off it is. Please remember to bring some egg cartons. The way I pick them up will be differently. They won't be in individual egg cartons. You will want your eggs to reach room temperature prior to putting them in your incubator. Now, everything that I am telling you is actually found on the website in a couple of the publications that you see there. So if you were to read the Incubation Embryology, this is like a PowerPoint slide presentation that's there. You'll see it has a lot of resources in it. Or if you decide to use the Texas A&M Agriculture publication about incubation, you can print them off or you can download them to your computer, but so you have them, they're here on the website for you. All of you should be running your incubators already, okay? So once your eggs reach room temperature, you want to put them inside of your incubator with the large side up. Not the large side of your egg down, but the large side up. I will demonstrate this for you on next Tuesday, but I'll also make a video specifically just for that, okay? When you put your eggs in your incubator, you may notice that the temperature and humidity may dip a little bit. It's temporary. Once you put them in there, give it a couple hours and it will reach stasis, okay? Do not adjust your thermostat or your water for the humidity for your incubator. Just wait a few hours. It will adjust and settle in. Egg shells are porous, so oxygen, bacteria, and moisture will absorb through that eggshell, which is why it's important to set the humidity at 60% in your incubator while you are incubating your eggs up until the last 3 days, where you want to increase that to 65, 70%. There is a membrane inside of your eggshell. If it gets dry, your chick will stick and your hatch rate will decrease dramatically, okay? So just keep that in mind. Wash your hands before you handle the eggs. Because those eggshells are porous, any bacteria, oils, grease, germs that are on your hands can be absorbed through the eggshell and mess with the sterile condition while the embryo is incubating, and therefore may affect your hatch rate. All right, those of you with the styrofoam incubators, you may notice that there are 2 holes at the top, almost the size of your pinky fingers, where you can actually stick a plug. If you have a brand new incubator, it may be an orange plug. That is to help keep the humidity within your incubator. However, if your humidity is high and you see condensation forming on the underneath side, take those plugs out, okay, because it's too much. You don't want condensation to build up on your eggs, on the eggshells, okay, because that also will affect your incubating process and the success of your eggs hatching, okay? Let's talk about your incubators. Those of you with the styrofoam incubators, or if you have the Lion TX7, which I'm going to demonstrate here in just a second, you all have a thermostat and you have a fan that's blowing. So you have a forced air incubator that is circulating that air. So your humidity will evaporate and the water that you're putting in will evaporate relatively quickly. So please keep an eye on that. And it's very good to have your students in the classroom assigned to document what the humidity and the temperature is throughout the day. So it's teaching them to be responsible and to monitor this process just like a scientific experiment all throughout. On this website, there is another form that you can use to check the humidity and keep a record of that. And that is to get the kids used to documenting data, collecting and observing data, so that they can monitor this project and experiment that they're doing with hatching eggs. Okay, now if you have the Lion TX7 model that I am going to demonstrate here, you do not have humidity plugs. This incubator is very, very different. And you really have to watch what's going on. You all have a different kind of thermometer, and I'm going to dismantle this one right here so I can show you some things specific about this particular incubator. Number one is the thermometer. You'll notice that it has a humidity meter and a temperature meter reading here that that you will need to show and to watch and monitor. If you picked up this particular model for me, I already had it assembled for you. But if by chance you disassembled it to get a better gauge or look at it, fret not, don't worry. You may find that you have a wick in the center. That is actually what you would use if you were using the wet bulb, but we're not using the wet bulb, so you do not need the cotton wick. This does need to be placed. You'll notice that there are 4 little pegs there for this tray to actually rest upon. Okay, so put that into place. I'm gonna lift it up and show you. Underneath, you do have moisture channels that are in the bottom of this. Okay, and that's where your water is going to rest during the process. And when you put water here through the bottle, it will fill up each one of those channels. Okay, so there we have that resting. Now, your egg turner is really, really important. Okay, so there are holes here on the side of your unit. I'm going to go ahead and lift this off so you can see. Your egg turner has a long side and a short side. This is actually going to fit in the 2 holes on the side of your incubator. Okay, do not force this arm or you will break your egg turner. So leave that as is. Do not force that to move in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So these were all tested prior to distributing them to everyone for this project. So you're just going to fit those back in to those holes there. That's important. All right, you've got your incubator, and now we have the long and short leg of the motor that is part of the egg turner. We have our bottom. Now we have our plastic tray. Okay, so with our plastic tray, it is going to sit over top just like that. So make sure that it sits and is actually touching the bottom of the tray. Now, when you put your eggs in the slots, this is going to move, which is in turn going to rotate and turn your eggs. But it's not going to actually spin around unless you have these notches lined up, and there's several notches on this, okay? So unless you have these notches lined up correctly. All right, that is the key to this egg turner working. So it's going to rotate this way, then it's going to rotate that way. That'll keep rotating your eggs automatically. All right, so I'm going to flip this out of the way. Now, one thing that is going to be accurate for all of your incubators, if your incubator is not a digital incubator, is your thermometer. You want this to rest on your eggs somewhere near, because that's giving you an accurate reading as to what temperature your eggs are registering. So it doesn't need to be outside, it needs to be sitting right in here on top of your eggs. All right, and that's fine. And I did sanitize all of this for you all prior to you picking up your incubators. Now with the Lion TX model, it is a dome, and you'll notice that it has this knob here on the end. If you need to loosen your knob, just reach your hand underneath here and just unscrew it or tighten it up, okay? But it's important to know where the knob is and to also notice where your notches are. Your notch should be between where your water bottle is going to rest and the arm, this little thing, and your the motor. So this notch is here, so I'm going to set it in between, and I'm going to move this little hook out of the way for now, and I'm going to rest this on top of the plastic tray. And if you notice, that knob here set right in the indentation for that plastic piece that's there. So now when I spin this, it is actually spinning the egg turner underneath. Do you see that? The grid inside is spinning with the lid. If I do not line this notch up correctly, and I'll show you, and I put this down, number one, the lid isn't even going to fit down on the unit correctly, and when I turn it, it's not going to spin the grid. So line the notch up with the knob so that it fits in there, and you see how nicely that rests, so that when the dome spins, so does that. Why is that important? Because your motor arm is going to raise and lower, and as it, see, I have to turn it this way, I'm going to fit this hook, okay, and you'll see that the hook, let me see if I can show you, here we go, the hook is down, so it's going to clamp over like that with the knob. So it is going to hook right over the knob and rest just like that. So when this arm here raises, it's going to pull the dome towards me. And when it lowers back down, it's going to push the dome away. And that in turn is going to rotate and turn the grid underneath. Your motor, you're going to plug in at the top of your dome, just like that. And then you will plug in your incubator, which is the long cord, into a surge protected power source. So this black knob here is your thermostat, and that's how you adjust your temperature. These were adjusted to suit the temperature in my office. So depending on the temperature of your classroom, you may have to adjust this up or down, just depending on what your thermometer reading has been giving you all week. Now, what you're going to do with this is fill this up with water. I have adjusted the nozzle already to give me a good humidity reading. So once you fill this up with water, and your instructions manual for this tells you put your finger over it, and then when you bring it over, release the water in there. Now where this screw is will actually lift the bottle off of the bottom, of the tray, allowing the water to come out at a different rate. So you can monitor whether or not your bottle is empty or how empty it's getting. Make sure it's full before you go home at the end of the school day. Okay, so those of you who are leaving on the weekend, this is probably going to be the most concerning thing, is making sure the humidity does not drop for too long over the weekend. So you can monitor that, fill it up, and you'll see about how long it takes before you have to refill your bottle. If you notice the humidity is not high enough, then you're basically going to screw this down so that the bottle is raised higher up here, so that more water is being released into your unit. All right, and that's pretty much it for this Lion TX7 model. Okay, if you have any questions or difficulties, please contact me and let me know. So I hope that answers a lot of the questions that you have. So just to review a little bit about what I told you in the video today, egg pickup is next Tuesday, March the 8th, starting at 8:30 in the morning, okay? So please bring egg cartons with you. We have a few here, but you know, there's 87 dozen eggs going out to the city. So please bring some egg cartons for yourself and for your teammates. Make sure you are running your incubators now. You want to make sure that everything that you're going to have inside of that incubator has been sterilized with a 10% bleach solution, cleaned out really well, all right? Because you don't want any bacteria or things in the air. Washing your hands before and after handling your eggs so that you don't contaminate that environment. You want to have it set at 60% humidity and the temperature at 99.5. You don't want to go over that because you don't want to cook your eggs. You just want to incubate your eggs. Your eggs will have to reach room temperature before you incubate them, but that should be no problem because of how I'm going to store them after I pick them up on Monday. Okay? Yeah, and just remember when you put your eggs in your incubator that you are putting them with the large side up, because that's where the air pocket is, and you do not want your baby chick to suffocate in the shell before it is able to hatch. All right, and I'll show you how to find the large end and the small end in case you don't know. So good luck, teachers. Welcome to embryology. We're gonna hatch some baby chicks. Okay, happy hatching. Bye.